Luminous gold. The vision wall captured Devron as it always did. He stared at it, awestruck by the outer layer, so pure that it was translucent, a mystical depth over the more ordinary golden underlayer. Even that could only be called ordinary if one could envision an entire wall of naturally occurring, purified gold. To this day, no one could explain the possibility of its existence. The surface of that wall puzzled Devron in so many ways. Never had he seen any image within it. Why? Because he understood its substance too well? Did that dilute its mystical properties and render him blind to a message? Or perhaps it had no message for him. Visions were rare, after all. A string of chimes rang as a musician drew her striker over hanging tubes. The notes descended, rose, and fell again. A hush settled within the chamber. The keepers waited, their heads bowed. The stillness was so complete that Devron could hear the lapping of water in the spring-fed pool. A single chime sounded. The keepers lifted their heads and began the melodious chant of gratitude. Next, the chief keeper read the shortened version of the creation story, followed by the full gifting story, when Creo's name was changed to Elincreo, the giving creator. On that ancient day, he'd bestowed the 3 substance gifts upon his beloved children, that they would have powers once under his control alone. Now they would command air, water, and land. Halfway through the first song, gasps and cries stalled the melody. Devron glanced around as people shouted, "Look!" and "The vision wall!" They pointed, eyes round. He snapped his gaze back to the wall. Shapes took form within its depth, while shrieks and wails echoed. Why? What did they see? For Devron saw swirling waters and a structure begging to be sculpted, a dome made of embedded sliding panels. Breathtaking. Around him, people clutched one another or stared about, perplexed. The keepers of the writ had turned to see what others viewed, and now they traded puzzled frowns and shrugs. The chief keeper motioned his colleagues to draw near. Whatever he asked caused them to shake their heads. Then he seemed to question those in the nearest tiers of seating, moving quickly across the groups. Devron caught snatches of exclamations around him, words like collapse, trapped, crushed, no escape, choking, and all dead. They were mixed with place names, cities of Luristel and the Access Avenue. Horrific portents. Hair rose on the back of his head, at odds with the exhilaration coursing down his arms, for he saw only a magnificent creation awaiting his skill. The chief keeper called out, trying to be heard over the din. Impossible. He turned to the chimer, and she executed the sweep of notes again, but even this did not still the chaos. It wasn't until all the musicians joined in to play the rising and falling notes in harsh staccato that the crowd finally attended to the chief keeper. No point in watching keepers who saw nothing. Devron scanned those behind him. One face said it all. A girl in her teens, her teary cheeks half buried against her father's chest, her grip on his shirt white-knuckled, strained eyes that didn't want to look but couldn't stop. Then her face sagged with mournful relief. Devron checked again for his own vision. The translucent gold shone pure, as empty as in the moment he'd arrived.